Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Hello everyone, welcome back to this video, and this video will be the continuation of part 1 last week, and in this video we'll be discussing number 41 until 80 as I promised you. Okay, so without further ado, let's just get started. Alright, number 41. You'd blah 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 take an umbrella. We have better, well, was, and good. So the answer for 41 is better. A. You'd better take an umbrella. Why better? So you can see from this question it means you are trying to suggest someone. For example, if it is raining, so you give suggestion that you'd better take an umbrella. Had better means like should or it's better. So but had better doesn't explain past event. It explains like present suggestion. So for example, if your friend is having a toothache, you can tell him or her, you'd better or you had better go to a doctor or to a dentist, something like that. So the answer is A. 42. I should wear warm clothes, blah 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 is his code. So we have to find two words, and the answer for 42 is in case. I should wear warm clothes in case it is cold. Why in case? If you put because of, after of, it has to be like like noun. While we have it is cold, it's a sentence, so we can't really use the phrase that has of at the end. So because of, we have of. In case of, no. Instead of, no. So the only possible answer is D, in case. I should wear warm clothes in case it is cold. Yeah, D. 43. They spend their holidays at home, blah blah blah, going abroad. They spend their holidays at home. It's like they prefer to stay at home than going abroad, and the meaning of then is instead of. Yeah, instead of. The answer is B. So they spend the holidays at home instead of going abroad. I love noodles instead of pizza, for example, something like that. 44. I am interested, blah blah blah, literature. So the only answer is D, interested in. The only partner of interested is always in. Interested in, not interested with. Okay, that is a common mistake. 45. I am confused, blah blah blah, statistics. So again, like interested in, for confused, the partner is with. I'm confused with statistics. C. 46. She is far too fond, blah blah blah, chocolate. The meaning of fond, it's actually C, fond of. So the answer is C. The meaning of fond of, it means you love it, you like it so much, you adore it. So if you use it in a context, you can say, for example, oh, I love him, I love her. You can change love using fond of. I am fond of her, I am fond of him. You admire that person. Yeah, so the answer is C, fond of. 47. He jumped, blah blah blah, the bus and broke a leg. You can imagine this person is actually on the bus, and this person wants to get out of the bus by jumping. So from inside into outside we use off, double F. Yeah, so the answer is C. He jumped off the bus and broke a leg. Broke a leg, it means the leg is kind of hurt something because the position of the jumping is not right. 48. She was peeping the blah 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 the window and saw the postman coming. Peeping, like I told you last week, peeping means you look at something quickly, but in this context another meaning is you look at something in a very narrow hole, like you're trying to peek. So if you peep, of course it's through a hole or through a small space or something. So she was peeping through the window and saw the postman coming. Yeah, through. The answer is C. 49. They put my money and passport blah 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 a box. Put blah 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 a box from outside into inside. So use into. C. They put my money and passport into a box. 50. Please look blah 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 my house while I'm away in Peru. Please look blah 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 my house. It means you are going to Peru and you want someone else to keep your house. So the answer is look after. Look after has the same meaning as keep. Yeah? C. 51. I blah 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 born in 1951. This is passive. Yeah, I believe you know this. I was born. Yeah, because was is the to before I in the past, not were. I was born in 1951. C. 52. While my family was blah 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 in India. While my family was blah 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 in India. You see there is was. That means we have to find the verb in ing form, like studying. So we have to change the verb into ing, and the possible answers to be being and D working. Of course the answer is D working. While my family was working in India. 53. My father blah 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 a job with the government. My father was a job. Nope. My father having. No, we cannot use having without to be. My father have. No, it's supposed to be has if it is in the present. So the possible answer is C. My father had a job with the government. It means in the past, right? 54. After we blah 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 living there for 10 years, we returned to the UK. After we have living. That means we, again, if you see, if there is like a ing form or ing form of the verb, we have to find we need to be, and the to be here is actually been. Yeah, but it means we have A had been or have been between A and B. But if you take a look at more carefully, for 10 years we returned. It's in the past, so it means we also have to find which one is in the past, had been or have been. Yeah, the answer is had been, A. After we had been living there for 10 years, we returned to the UK. 55. Britain is your real home. I blah 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 told. So it's not you who tell it, but someone told you. So this is passive. Britain is your real home. I was told. It's like I was told by my friend, for example. So your friend told you that Britain is your real home. So the answer is D, was. I was told. 56. I don't speak Hindi, but if we blah 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 stayed in India longer, yeah. I don't speak Hindi, but if we, it's like you regret something. Like you went to India, but then you didn't do anything. You didn't even practice your Hindi. You didn't even communicate with local people in India. But you regret it now after you come back to your own country. So you use third conditional. The third conditional is if had verb 3. If had verb 3. So the answer is D. Had. If we had stayed in India. 57. This is the continuation of 56. If we had stayed in India longer, I blah 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 have spoken it pretty well. So again, for third conditional, the rule is like if had verb 3 would have verb 3. Again, if had verb 3 would have verb 3. So the answer for 57 is would. I would have spoken it pretty well. Yeah. 58. After blah 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 school in England, I went to university. After, if you use the word after, it means you have to follow it with a gerund form, And the only gerund form here is A, living. After leaving school in England, I went to university. Yeah, so the answer is A. 59. I went to Oxford, but I wish I blah 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 gone to Cambridge. This one is also the same as the third conditional, so it becomes I had gone to Cambridge. I went to Oxford, but I wish I had gone to Cambridge. Like you have the regretful feeling just because you didn't go to Cambridge and you preferred to go to Oxford instead. The answer is C, had gone. Number 60. I hated it, but I know I blah 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 have enjoyed it. This is the situation in the past, right? You can check like the word hated. I hate it, it means it's in the past, so that means we also have to use the word in the past. And actually this is like a suggestion as well, like you should enjoy it, but because this is in the past, you should have enjoyed it. Yeah, so should can also be used in the past form, and the past form of should is should have for 3. Should have enjoyed it. C. '61. Friends were blah 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 and far between. Friends were, the answer is, you can imagine if you have a friends and then all of you are far between, it means it's hard for you to get in touch again, to keep in touch again, to meet up again, just because each of you has been separately living in different places. So that's why not many, not a lot, and the possible answers is just like few and a little. And few is used for countable nouns. It means something that can be counted, 1, 2, 3, 4 and so on, while a little is non-countable or uncountable nouns. It means the opposite. You cannot count the things, such as sugar or salt or sand and water and so on. So the only answer is A, few. Friends were few and far between. A. 62. I was so busy that I had very blah 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 spare time. Time is uncountable because you can't really count the time, so we use between little and a little. Yeah, but which one is the correct answer? So because from this context, the difference between little and a little, if you use a little, it means it sounds positive, the same meaning as some. But if you use only little, it sounds negative. It means almost nothing. So this context is telling us that because you're so busy, it means you almost have no time to maybe to stay or to enjoy your life with your family and something. So the answer is B, little, because it sounds negative, almost nothing. 63. My grant was so small that it was difficult to make blah 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 meet. This one is an idiomatic expression. So if you don't know this, maybe you need to check out in the dictionary. So the answer of this is actually A, ends. Make ends meet. That is an idiom. It means to cover your expenses financially. So if I put it into context, my grant was so small that it was difficult to cover my expenses, my living costs, my tuition fee, something like that. So make ends meet means to pay or to cover something and you don't have enough money for that. Yeah, so the answer is A, ends. 64. Although I hated it, I stuck it out to the blah 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 end. This is also idiomatic expressions, so you can't really predict. So you have to check out in the dictionary what is it. And the idiom of this one is B, bitter. So although I hated it, I stuck it out to the bitter end. Like you can imagine you are in a place where you don't really like to be there, but because you have already been there, you can't really go back, so you have to just stay whether you like it or not. That's the meaning of stuck in, stuck out. Stuck out means you still stay even though you don't like it. To the bitter end. To the bitter end, it means like until the final, you know, like you stay there, but you won't go back until that, you know, that agenda is finished. So even though you don't like it, but you just still stay, yeah, until the final part, until the end. So bitter end, B. 65. I didn't seem to have anything in blah 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 with anyone else. It means something the same. It's in common. C. It's also idiomatic expression. 66. So I stood out like a blah 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 out of water. I stood out like blah 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 out of water. Same. This is also idiomatic expression. So the answer is duck. Like a duck out of water. What is the meaning of duck out of water? The meaning is you directly adapt with the new situation. You know, like you go to France, but because you have, I don't know, life skill, you can speak French, you have friends there, so you're kind of, you know, outgoing person, so you can easily adapt with the new environment, with the new culture. So you are like a duck out of water. Yeah, so it's A, duck. 67. I had high hopes, blah blah blah, doing very well. This one, we need a preposition that is matched with high hopes. So it's like interested in, waiting for, or like fond of before, you know. And for this one, high hopes of, the answer is A, high hopes of. Yeah. 68. My exam results, blah blah blah, didn't match up to my efforts. You know, your exam results didn't match up. It means something contrary, the opposite. You study, but then you didn't pass. So it means we have to put the opposition. So it's been between but and however. But which one is the correct answer? If you use but, we only need one comma. You know, you can see from the question there are two commas, and that means we don't use but, we use however. Yeah. B. My exam results, however, didn't match up to my efforts. B. 69. When I got my first job, I was over the, this is also idiomatic expression, there are a lot of idiomatic expressions here. Moon. I was over the moon. You know, it means you're very very happy, you are excited, you are delighted. So when I got my first job, I was so happy, I was over the moon. Okay, A. 70. You can start on Monday, the letter said, and I was, you can imagine you just got your first job, and then you have to start tomorrow. What do you feel? You feel, you know, shocked, right? You feel surprised. So the meaning of surprised here is aroused. You can start on Monday, the letter said, and I was aroused. Yeah, or shocked, or, you know, like surprised. D. 71. You speak French, blah blah blah, you. This is question tags. For question tags, it's easy. You just have to choose. If the sentence is positive, the question tags is negative, and vice versa. If the sentence is negative, the question tags is positive. So you speak French, it's positive. So you have to use don't you, negative. Yeah, you speak French, don't you? B. 72. You will tell me if you don't understand me. Blah blah blah. You will. It's positive. So the negative is won't you. You will tell me, won't you? D. 73. You blah 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 understand, do you? You can see the question tags is in a positive form, so you have to find the negative form. You don't understand, do you? Negative, positive. Yeah, so D. 74. You were driving too fast, blah blah blah, you. The policeman said. You were, it's positive, so the negative of were is weren't. You were driving too fast, weren't you? So it's C, weren't. 75. You told me you had spent 7 hours on the ferry. You told me, positive, So the negative one is didn't you. You told me, didn't you? C. 76. It was said she couldn't read a word. Blah blah blah. It was. It was. Positive. Negative is wasn't. It was said, wasn't it? C. 77. You think this is too easy. Blah blah blah. You think it's positive, and we have to find the negative. Don't you? You think this is too easy, don't you? B. 78. I am right. Blah blah blah. This is quite tricky. I am, it's positive, right? And what about the negative of am? Am not? No, we don't have am not like B. No, we don't have am not in English. So we borrow from you. I am right, aren't I? So the answer is D. I am right, aren't I? Because we don't have am not I. No, it's nothing. 79. Where on blah 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 did you hide the keys? This expression is used to emphasize, like really? Where did you hide my keys? Really? So this really, you can use earth. Where on earth did you hide the keys? Like if you're really looking for something and then like you feel like this is so hard, you can use where on earth did you hide the keys? It's not only where, you can also use on earth on with other words. For example, why on earth did you do that to me? Or when on earth were you? Something like that. Last number, 80. I bet you are looking forward to blah 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 this. Remember, last week we also had a question using looking forward to. So after forward to, we always use ing form or ing form. So that means finishing this. The answer is B. Okay, that's it. I hope I know some of them are very challenging, especially the idioms, but I'm pretty sure after this, if you find the same questions in the future, then you shouldn't think about it anymore, because you've known this already, you've understood about these questions already. So I hope you get something great today. I hope what we learn is quite useful for your English improvement, so that you can you can prepare for the TOEFL test later. And sorry for my weaknesses, and I hope you're always good. I hope you're always healthy wherever you are, and that's it. I'll see you next week. Thank you so much. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Bye bye.